Welcome to another deep dive into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Today, we are exploring a true legend of American coinage, the most valuable United States wheat penny, without a mint mark, even when found in damaged condition. That's right, even if the coin has seen better days, scratched, worn, or bent, it may still hold an incredible amount of value. This isn't just pocket change. This is history in your hands. Asterisk, when people hear the term wheat penny, they often think of a small copper coin that most grandparents might have stashed away in jars. Introduced in 1909 and continuing until 1958, the Lincoln wheat cent is one of the most collected coins in American history. It features the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, giving it the name wheat penny. Asterisk, what makes these coins so intriguing is not just their design, but the stories they carry. Some years produced rarities so uncommon that they've become the holy grail for collectors. Among them is one of the most valuable pennies ever to exist, without a mint mark. And the fascinating part, even in damaged or circulated condition, it can be worth hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars. Asterisk, let's start by clarifying what without a mint mark really means. A coin without a mint mark typically indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally did not place a mint mark on its coins until later years. So, if your wheat penny doesn't have a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco beneath the date, it likely came from Philadelphia. Asterisk now. Let's zero in on the year that truly turns heads, 1909, the very first year of the Lincoln wheat cent. In that year, two versions were produced, one with the designer's initials, VDB, on the reverse near the rim at the bottom, and one without. Victor David Brenner was the man behind the coin's original design, and his initials stirred controversy for their size and placement. As a result, the U.S. Mint removed the initials quickly, creating an unintentional rarity. Asterisk, among these, the 1909 VDB Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a collector's treasure. Even more remarkable, though, is the 1909 SVDB. But since we are focused on coins without a mint mark, let's look deeper into another star of this conversation, the 1943 bronze wheat penny. Asterisk, most 1943 pennies were struck in steel due to copper shortages during World War II. However, a few were mistakenly struck in bronze, the usual copper alloy used in previous years. These bronze 1943 Lincoln wheat cents are exceedingly rare. In total, only about 10 to 15 are known to exist from the Philadelphia Mint, and that's where the magic happens. A coin from this batch with no mint mark is potentially worth a fortune. Asterisk, even in damaged or heavily circulated condition. A 1943 bronze wheat penny without a mint mark has fetched astonishing prices. For example, one circulated example sold for over $280,000 in a public auction. That's right, nearly $250,000 for a small copper coin. That many might overlook as junk. Asterisk, why are these coins so valuable? First, it's the mistake. Errors in coin production, especially ones involving the wrong metal, are extremely rare. They give the coin a story, a uniqueness that collectors crave. Second, it's the scarcity. With only a handful of 1943 bronze pennies known from the Philadelphia Mint, demand far outweighs supply. Third, it's the history. Wartime America, copper shortages, emergency decisions at the mint, each one adds weight to the coin's tale. Asterisk.
But let's focus on what matters to you, the viewer who might be holding one right now. Let's say you have a 1943 penny without a mint mark. It's dark brown, maybe greenish, heavily worn, possibly even scratched or damaged. What should you do? Asterisk, first, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value even when it's already in poor condition. Instead, compare it with other 1943 pennies. Most were struck in steel and will stick to a magnet. The rare bronze ones, however, will not. That's the first test you should do. Take a small magnet and see if the coin sticks. If it does, it's probably a regular steel cent. If it doesn't, you might have something very special. Asterisk. Next. Weigh. The coin, a standard steel 1943 penny, weighs about 2.7 grams. A bronze one weighs around 3.1 grams. This minor difference can make a world of difference. Even a damaged 1943 bronze penny can sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and in extremely rare cases, over $100,000, depending on the market. Even if it is not in mint condition, asterisk, if your coin passes both the magnet and weight test, the next step is to get it authenticated by a professional grading service, such as PCGs or NGC. These organizations specialize in determining the authenticity and condition of coins. While damage does decrease the grade, rarity and demand can still keep the price high. Asterisk. Now, let's talk dollars. How much is a damaged no mint mark 1943 bronze Lincoln wheat penny worth in today's market? As of now, a verified and authenticated, example even with environmental damage, corrosion, or heavy wear can sell for anywhere from $50,000 to $180,000 or more at major auctions. Coins in slightly better shape or with lighter wear have been known to top $250,000. And one pristine example even went for nearly $1.7 million. Asterisk. It's not just the 1943 bronze penny that brings attention. The 1922 no-D wheat penny, originally minted in Denver, is another famous example of a no-mint mark coin due to a filled die error. But that is a story for another video. Today, we focus on the mystery and value of a coin that should have been steel, but somehow emerged as bronze. Asterisk collectors around the world are constantly searching for these rare pieces. Estate sales, old collections, junk drawers, and flea markets sometimes hide incredible secrets. You never know, the next $1 million coin could be sitting in an old toolbox or a family heirloom box. Asterisk. If you think you've found something special, treat it with care. Don't polish it, don't clean it, and don't try to sell it on a whim. Get it looked at by professionals. Even a coin in bad shape can hold tremendous value if it's rare enough. Asterisk. To summarize, the most valuable wheat penny without a mint mark, in damaged condition, is undoubtedly the 1943 bronze sent from Philadelphia. Its incredible rarity, accidental origin, and demand in the numismatic world have elevated its value into the six-figure range even when damaged. It's a reminder that every coin has a story, and sometimes the most ordinary-looking penny can be the key to an extraordinary find. Asterisk. The most valuable United States wheat penny without a mint mark, even when found in damaged or heavily circulated condition. Asterisk. The wheat penny series, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and features a profile of Lincoln on the obverse, with two stylized wheat stalks on the reverse, hence the name wheat penny. These coins were minted from 1909 until 1958, after which the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial. Asterisk. What makes certain wheat pennies so incredibly valuable, even in damaged condition, comes down to a few critical factors: rarity, historical context, errors in production, and market demand. But today, we focus specifically on wheat pennies that have no mint mark and yet command high prices even if they're bent, scratched, worn out, or partially corroded. Asterisk. When a coin has no mint mark, that usually means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark on most of its coinage until much later in history. However, some no mint mark wheat pennies are far from ordinary. Let's take a look at the one that stands out above the rest: the 1943 Lincoln wheat penny made of copper instead of steel. Asterisk. Yes, you heard that right. The 1943 wheat penny without a mint mark, struck in copper, is among the most valuable of all U.S. coins, and certainly the most valuable among the no mint mark wheat pennies. During World War II, copper was needed for the war effort, so the U.S. Mint made pennies out of zinc-coated steel for the year 1943, but a few copper planchettes from 1942 accidentally got stuck in the minting machinery and were used to produce a small number of 1943 copper pennies. Most of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, meaning they bear no mint mark asterisk to the untrained eye. A 1943 copper wheat penny might not look much different from a typical penny, especially if it's in poor or damaged condition. If you happen to come across one and it weighs around 3.11 grams, rather than the 2.7 grams of the steel versions, you might be holding something extraordinary, even in damaged condition. These coins can command astonishing prices at auction and in private sales, asterisk now. Let's talk about the actual market value of a 1943 no mint mark copper wheat penny in today's collector market. Even in damaged or circulated condition, prices vary depending on the severity of the damage, but here are some realistic ranges based on actual sales records and auction data. Asterisk, a heavily circulated and damaged 1943 copper wheat penny with no mint mark has still sold for upwards of $40,000 to $60,000 in slightly better but still circulated condition. The same coin has fetched as much as $100,000 to $150,000 and in more pristine condition. These coins have broken records, selling for over $250,000 to $300,000, with one known example crossing the $1 million mark in private sale, asterisk now. You might be wondering, how can a damaged coin be worth tens of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in rarity. There are estimated to be fewer than 20 genuine 1943 copper pennies from the Philadelphia Mint. That extreme scarcity makes them highly desirable to collectors, regardless of their condition. In the world of numismatics, when a coin is one of only a few known to exist, even a poor example is still a treasure. Asterisk, but caution is essential. Because of the high value, many counterfeit versions of the 1943 copper penny have been created. Some are simply 1948 or 1945 copper pennies, altered to look like 1943s. Others are steel 1943 pennies, coated with copper to mimic the rare error. If you believe, you may have found one of these valuable coins. Even in damaged shape, it's crucial to have it authenticated and graded by a reputable coin grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. These services can verify the coin's authenticity and provide a professional assessment of its grade and condition. Asterisk. Other no mint mark wheat pennies also hold notable value, although none compared to the 1943 copper variety. For instance, the 1909 VDB wheat penny without a mint mark can be worth $10 to $50 in worn condition and over $500 in uncirculated grades. But even a heavily damaged 1909 VDB rarely fetches more than $50 to $100, which is still modest compared to the staggering value of the 1943 copper cent. Asterisk. Another honorable mention is the 1922 No D wheat penny, which, despite being from the Denver Mint, appears without a mint mark due to a die polishing error. These can sell for $500 to $5,000, depending on condition. But again, even this coin in poor condition doesn't come close to the value of the elusive 1943 copper penny. Asterisk. Let's recap. The most valuable USA wheat penny without a mint mark, even in a damaged or heavily circulated state, is the 1943 copper wheat penny, struck accidentally on leftover bronze planchettes from 1942 at the Philadelphia Mint. In today's market, such a coin, even bent, scratched, or corroded, can still bring in $40,000 or more, and often much higher. Asterisk. This kind of value turns pocket change into a potential treasure hunt. So, the next time you go through an old jar of coins or sort through inherited collectibles, keep a sharp eye out for a 1943 penny that doesn't stick to a magnet. That could be the key to identifying one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. Asterisk. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, be sure to subscribe for more rare coin stories, values, and historical deep dives. Who knows? The next rare coin we talk about might just be sitting in your pocket. Right now,